Thank you for attending JTech Vigor IPPBX Certified 10 webinar. My name is Perry Liao, the Marketing Project Manager of JTech Corporation. In this technical application-based webinar, we will focusing on the latest firmware version 3.5.5.3 to introduce those benefits can be provided by JTech Vigor IPPBX Certified 10 to the real case business scenario. In fact, JTech's Vigor IPPBX Certified 10 can be treated as the remedy from the traditional PBX setup for you to get rid of the costly implementation or the tedious settings. We will start from consolidated management for your extension in the situation like move, add, and change. Yes, Vigor IPPBX Certified 10 has the wizard feature which can have the easy management for all 100 IP extensions. From below basic PSTN scenario, you can see your internal PSTN PBX can connect to the FXO port, or your ergo forms can connect to the FXS port. Besides, all these FXO and FXX port are all module-wise. It means you can choose to have all AFXO ports or all AFXX ports, depends on your actual usage. For your IP phone, such as Vigor Phone 350, which you can connect to your LAN port, all these IP extension can be managed by the wizard function of Vigor IPPBX Certified 10. For the wizard configuration, you go to the web user interface of Vigor IPPBX Certified 10 and then you choose IPPBX wizard, and you can do the registration also with the authentication for your extension registration. For example, from former webinar, we know XYZ company has several groups such as the sales SMB East, West, GovC, Healthcare, or the Technical Support Specialist team, and their C-level officer. All those group extensions can be registered by the wizard function as well. For example, for your sales SMB East team, you can assign them the group extension as 201, and you know there are 5 members in the team, so the home list will start from 2011 all the way to the 2015, and you do the similar thing for your sales SMB West, GovC, Healthcare, TSS, and don't forget, do one group for your C-level officer. For your C-level officer, you can name their extension group name as C-level, and the extension group number as 206, and the start number of the extension group, let's say 2061. And we know XYZ company has 4 officers, so the number of extension in this group, let's say 4. And you can also do the password for the authentication in the extension password in this group. And when you're done, hit OK. Again, from the former webinar, we know Vigor IPPBX Certified 10 can support up to 6 simultaneous SIP trunk registration to provide the business user to enjoy the on-off-net cost savings. All these SIP trunk registration can be done by the wizard function as well. You just hit next from the previous page and you can do the SIP trunk registration. Also, you can do the registration with the authentication. For example, for your sales SMB East team, you can name their profile name as sales SMB East, and let them register like say iptail.org, and the system will automatically assign the first registration trunk as 001, and you will do the same with the maybe the different SIP trunk provider for your sales SMB West, GovC, Healthcare, TSS, and don't forget, register one zip trunk for your C-level officers. In the last step of the wizard function, you can do the office hours setup for your extension groups. Just hit next from the previous page and you can answer the few questions to complete the office hours setup. First question, when do you start working in the morning? Let's say 8 a.m. Second question, when do you have the rest at noon? Let's say 12 p.m. Third question, when do you start working in the afternoon? I would say 1 hour for lunch would be more than enough, so I say 1 p.m. So when do you leave the office? Let's say 5 p.m. if you are lucky enough. The very last question, is this schedule available at the weekend? Hey, we assume you are not a main boss, so we say no. But if you really want your employee come to work during their weekend, you can definitely click yes, no doubt. In addition to the wizard function, Vigor IPPBX Certified 10 can do the detail management and monitor for your AV extension. So you just go to the IPPBX section of its web user interface and then you choose extension. You can pick up whatever extension profile for do your setting. In our case, I will choose extension 2011 belonging to the SMB East team and Luke Josh. Remember Luke, you will see him several times in the following configuration steps. In his extension profile, you can do the extension privilege assign in the allow to access this trunk section. In this section, if I only choose SIP1 and PSTN1, it means for extension 2011 which belonging to Luke Josh, he can only make the outgoing code through SIP1 and the PSTN1 trunk. You can also do the detail monitor for each extension. You go to the IPPBX section and now you choose the PBX status. First, you can do the code detail records. In the code detail records, we can also allow you to export this code detail record as the CSV format file for your future reference. In the CDR, or we say code detail record, you can see when, from whom to whom, and result, and even the duration of each code. Another feature under PBX status would be extension monitor. You can see each extension, whether it's online, offline, or even on the code. Thank you for your attending or listening today.